We've been travelling around the UK and Paris for about 20 days now, and we're on our way home. But before we get there, we're going to stop over in Singapore for a couple of nights to check it out. I've had lots of Singapore tourists from here at home who have told me lots about the place, so I'd like to see it for myself. If you're stopping at the airport for a while or staying at the hotel there is a very good train service into the city, and it takes about 30 minutes. We're here for a couple of nights, so we're staying right in the middle of the city, just back from the marina. The Marina Bay area seems to be the centrepiece that everything revolves around. It's a 3.5 kilometre waterfront promenade linking all the attractions at the marina centre. But it's at night when the place really shines. Every night they have this laser light show. The show runs for about 15 minutes, so if you want to see the whole thing, I'll add it as an extra later. Singapore has a big Chinese population, so where you find a lot of Chinese, you're going to find a Chinatown, and then a Chinatown market. Not just a small street market, but a multi-storey market. Not quite what I've seen before. This was a little bit mind-blowing. But what we were looking for was the street market we had seen from the hop-on, hop-off bus. It took a bit of finding, but we eventually did find it. I guess you could say that we're killing two birds with one stone. Not only are we seeing Singapore, but we're also getting a taste of China. The good thing here though, most people speak English. There is almost anything you could want to buy here. I'm not much of a haggler, but even I got a good price on a memory card. You just got to be a little bit careful not to offend them by trying to get it too cheap. They're all got to make some money. It's a bit like eBay, but you can touch and feel the product first. We got here in the morning, so it's fairly quiet. I can imagine that later on it'll be packed like sardines in here. Singapore has an eye, just like in London, but this one is meant to be the world's largest. It's an easy walk from the Marina Bay area. From the top you can see that Singapore has a weird architecture style. The weirder the better. I still can't see how they managed to fit 5.5 million people into this island and still have so much open space. Singapore is also one of the world's largest ports, and that's where we're heading next. No, not the port, but Sentosa Island just near the port. Sentosa Island is just off the coast of Singapore. The name Sentosa means peace and tranquility in Malay. It's better than the old name, which meant Island of Death from behind. There's a lot of hotels and resorts here, but the main reason 5 million people come here is because of the Universal Studio theme park. You can get here by road, boat, or as we did, by air, that is by cable car. So what's here? Well, there are the water playground stuff, and the weather's good for that, and then there's the dry stuff. We did the dolphin show. And of course, if you've got a dolphin show, you've got a seal show. To see the full show, look for the extra episode on the dolphins. You move around Sentosa on buses, so it can be a bit slow at times. Some of the other things we saw were images of Singapore, where we learned a bit about the history and how it came to be here. You can go inside the Merlion, which is a mascot for Singapore, and get some great views of the place. There's heaps more to see here, but just before sunset everybody makes their way down to the beach. One of the highlights of coming to Sentosa is the laser light show, but it's not like the one back in town.
Rachel, stop! Come back! Rachel! Rachel!
Keep it quiet, boy. I need a moment to gather my thoughts.
What? Who are you?
Well, I am Shabazz, from the glorious aquatic species. This was a long nap. What century are we?
Huh? The 21st century.
But I've slept through thousands and thousands of years then. I have to go
Go where?
back to the beginning of time, where I belong.
How do you intend to do that?
By flying, of course. Strange born.
This show is really a must-see. To see the full show, check it out in another episode of mine. In our next episode, we'll be looking at the Marina Bay laser light show in full.